Alright, in this review, I'll be reviewing the Shengshou Rainbow 2x2. But first, before I actually get onto reviewing this, I'm just quickly going over the box and what came with it. Here's the box that it came in. Kind of fancy. And it has that rainbow look over it, which is kind of good to have there and supports the name of the puzzle. And on here it says smooth rotation, super performance. Well, that can be justified in several different ways, depending on how you look at this puzzle. Other than that, standard Shengshou box, and then comes with a solution guide booklet, which is useful, like really useful. But overall, this cube cost about $3 or something like that. But it's a cheap 2x2, and this is Shengshou's third 2x2 model. First, they produced a regular 2x2 back in like 2009, something like that, which that one did not have a name. And then the second model was the Aurora 2x2, which was a 2x2 that was revolutionized because it used a unique mechanism that was the first one of its kind, which was basically taking the take a 4x4 or a 6x6 and bandage it into a 2x2, and that's what you get. Like, for say example, take an Osu and bandage it into a 2x2 and use that core as the core of this 2x2. Yeah, but this one is a little different, and I'll explain why the core is different and nothing special later on in the review. And this is Shengshou's first stickerless 2x2, but not their very first stickerless puzzle. The turning of this is like smooth. And you may be thinking, oh, that's good. But then there's some other flaws in it, as corner cutting is lacking. It has lack of corner cutting, where even if I go from there, it just doesn't corner cut. Like, but for example, like a puzzle like the Diane 2x2, which, as you can see, it has fantastic corner cutting. And then reverse corner cutting on this thing is nothing, non-existent. The size of it is standard 2x2 size. Colors of it are pretty decent. Comparing it to Shengshou's Aurora 3x3, not the Aurora 3x3, but the Rainbow 3x3, the colors are a bit different. The blue is different. Red's a bit different. Green, a huge different. Orange is again different a bit. Yellow, a tiny bit different. White, nothing much different. The mechanism of this 2x2, I'm not going to really take apart this particular 2x2, but I'll show you an example of what the core is shaped like in a bit right now. Alright, this is what the core of the Rainbow 2x2 looks like. Now you may be thinking, what the hell is that supposed to be? Yeah. And that core shape is a shape core design that was used back in 2010. And really, I mean, come on, only has 3 screws. That will result in poor corner cutting and also lockup as well. But the corner itself, as in the corner, how Shengshou actually put the stickerless implementation of the corners is that it's sort of like this. It's sort of like saying how it's like taking the idea of the Yushin big cube and putting it on a 2x2 in some sort of way. And what I feel like this 2x2 is a 2x2 that Shengshou originally designed back in 2010, but didn't release it until now. Because the core mechanism is a common one that was used back in 2010, and then how they were trying to get around stickerless puzzle after Diane introduced the stickerless cube concept, but by using the original 2x2 mech that Shengshou created, and working around and stuff like that. But yeah, and pops on this are a big issue where the internal edges would pop, and that would result in like a big major lockup. Cause what happened is that the edge would pop out a bit, and then when you were to actually turn it, it would the edge would catch on these corner caps, these corner pieces. So it's like how the edge would just pop up a bit, and it would get caught on these corners, and so then that would result in lockup, and it would be kind of a pain to actually deal with during the song, because you would have to do that to push the edge back into place. And tensioning it is tricky because you cannot have it at a loose enough tension for good corner cutting, and also the popping would be an issue. And so, in my opinion, this is not a really good 2x2 for modern day speed solving, but it's a good 2x2 for demonstrating how to solve a 2x2, or for someone who is wanting to learn how to solve a 2x2. So it's like good 2x2 for someone who's getting the first 2x2, but they don't want something as expensive as like the Diane or some of those other Moyu 2x2s or something like that, but plus also isn't as well suited for speed solving. But this is a really good cheap 2x2 for that situation. Otherwise, it's not a really good 2x2 for speed solving.